Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy, man. So we got the official 2021 NBA mock draft, post-NBA draft lottery edition video right here by my guy Hoops Reference. I've been following his mock drafts. This guy does a great job with these right here, man. You know, I think it's going to be accurate. And yes, so I'm excited to see who that team. Who's that team they got the first pick again? I don't remember, man. Oh, yeah, the Detroit Pistons, baby. I'm trying to, calm down a little bit, because you know, man, I've been 100% for the past damn near 24 hours. Okay, so I gotta chill out a little bit here, guys. But we're gonna watch this video, see what the mock draft's looking like. I do plan on doing a mock draft on my main channel, Crispy Flakes, maybe tomorrow, or I don't know, man. I'm definitely gonna get to it, but let's check this out, guys. See what it's all about.
Tonight was a big night for rebuilding teams.
Oh, it was.
As the draft lottery went down, and we officially have the full order set for the first 14 picks
in
the draft this year. Because of this, it's now the perfect time to put out another installment in this mock draft series that we do here on this channel leading up to the real thing. This year's draft is stacked with talent top to bottom, and especially with that top tier crop of talent, there are quite a few players that could all be vying for the #1 pick.
Like the top
Before
four,
we get into
to be honest.
Mock draft, though, it turns out about 62% of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel.
Y'all gotta go subscribe,
so
man. What are you guys
enjoy
doing?
the content,
Hit that sub
consider
button.
hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I'd also very much appreciate it. Now, with that being said, let's begin.
Let's get to it.
Starting with
yeah! All right, I'm sorry. Why do I sound so damn surprised, man? I don't know why I sound... Okay, I said I was... I'm just living my best life, man, okay? A lot of negative Nancy's the past 24 hours, too, man, when it comes down to it. Where did they trade the pick? Oh, Cade's career is going to be ruined! It's like, people not realize, man, we got whole new management. Like, you either see that you either show that you're a 7-year-old Timothy or that you have zero basketball IQ, man. You know, with the with Cade, people are out there saying this junk, man. Hoops knows what's up, though, man. Cade #1 in Detroit, we ain't trading the pick.
Detroit Pistons won the draft lottery, and with this pick, they select Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State. Cunningham entered the season viewed by most as the top prospect in the class. He had an absolutely phenomenal season in college this year and cemented himself as the prize of the class.
He's like a mix of Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum.
Big, strong body. He can score from all three levels.
With
His
little Steph Curry.
vision and playmaking ability is phenomenal, and he has all the makings of a two-way stud. The Pistons rebuild is in good hands with him leading the way, as I would be surprised if he wasn't the first name called on draft night this year. Next up,
there's literally zero reason to do anything else. We're not trading the pick. We're not drafting nobody else, man. We're gonna get Cade. Cade is the poster of this draft class. He is the poster boy for it. And this is a team in Detroit where you get the best player available. I'm sorry to say.
Went to the Houston Rockets.
Mobley, that's who I got.
Pick they select Evan Mobley from USC.
Him with Christian would be sick.
While Cunningham is viewed as the top dog this year, Mobley is literally right behind him.
Yeah, I would have been happy with Mobley also.
Could be seen as the #1 guy in his own right. He's far and away the best big man prospect in the draft. He has all the tools to dominate the defensive end of the floor. He blocks a ton of shots.
I for sure see Chris Bosh
he
vibes.
moves his feet incredibly well for someone his size.
Even the way he's built.
He provides terrific energy, he runs the floor, and he finishes with great touch around the basket too. So he checks nearly every box you want from a modern day big man. The Rockets have a nice budding core of Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, I wouldn't be totally surprised either, though, if they maybe look at Suggs, to lead on because of already having Christian Wood, and then try and do something with John Wall. But I don't know, man, you can't go wrong. Top four, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
And with the addition of Mobley, it'll solidify their front court and give them a defensive pillar to develop for years to come. Next up, the
Jalen
third
Green.
pick went to the
Yep, then
Cleveland
trade Colin
Cavaliers,
Sexton,
and
probably.
with it, they select Jalen Green from G League.
Maybe run him as small forward.
After those top two players, there are quite a few names worthy of selection from the range of picks 3 to 5, but based on need above all, the Cavaliers go with Green here. With their backcourt set with Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, the Cavaliers should look to bring in a wing player, and Green is not only the best option,
What is he, like,
but he
6'6"?
very well may be the best scorer in the entire draft. Green played in the G League this season, and even though he was inconsistent at times, he was able to put up some very impressive...
I do think they need to get, the Cavs need to do what they do to get Evan Mobley. I agree with Jalen Green. It's just like, but damn, the Cavaliers have been taking so many guards. But at this point, if Mobley's off the board, you have to take Jalen. Like, you can't take Suggs. That would make 0 sense. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the bad thing about picking third in this case. But damn, do like a Okoro, Sexton, Garland, so many guards on that team.
Numbers and produce while playing against professional grown men, as opposed to most prospects playing in college.
Okoro at the 3, Jalen at 2,
He's
Trey Collins.
explosive, he is a bucket getter, and he'll be another terrific weapon for this young Cavaliers team. Next up, the fourth pick went to the Toronto Raptors,
That's who I have
and
too.
with it, they select Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga. Suggs was the hero of the Final Four as he sank a half-court buzzer beater
The
to
new
get
Kyle
his team
Lowry.
to the championship game. But even past that moment, he was one of the most reliable and consistent prospects in all of college basketball this season. He can play either guard position on both offense and defense.
Worked nice
He's a
with,
floor
Fred
general
VanVleet.
that creates for those around him, and when he's aggressive, he can heat up and score a lot of points in bunches.
He basically Fred
has one of
VanVleet,
the
wow.
most well-balanced games in the class, and for a Raptors team that always prioritizes players that give effort on both ends of the floor, he'll fit right into the culture there. Next up, the fifth
Jonathan
pick
Kuminga.
went to the Orlando Magic, and with it, they select Jonathan Kuminga
Small
from
forward.
G League Ignite. Kuminga is the final player that I view as being in the top tier of players in this draft, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him picked as high as 3rd overall. He's much more of a project than some of the other names I've mentioned already, but he's also arguably someone with a higher ceiling than all of them. He's a wing player with all of the tools to be a phenomenal defender.
Magic
His
seemed like a good
athleticism
idea for
and
that type of
physical
player.
tools are all off the charts, and offensively, he's developing very well. His potential will be based on how much his perimeter
I mean, if the Cavs decide they want to keep Colin Sexton, then I would probably go with this man right here. But I like the idea of him on the Magic though, because the Magic just went into their rebuild big time by trading away Vuce and Fournier. I don't know why I called them that.
jumper improves, because even though he's shown glimpses of being able
Forney.
to convert from the outside, he is still
He's
wildly
so Forney.
consistent there.
Okay, sorry.
But in Orlando, he'll have plenty of time to improve. Next up is the 6th pick, which went to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and with it, they
He's gonna be the
select
Stanley
Scottie
Johnson. I can already
Barnes from
tell.
Florida
I
State.
got Stanley Johnson
Barnes
vibes.
is the jack-of-all-trades prospect in this year's draft, and has been compared to Draymond Green for this reason. Easily one of the best defensive prospects in the draft, he's 6'8" with the mobility, instincts,
Yeah, I really
and
got Stanley
disruptive
Johnson
ability
vibes.
to cause havoc for whoever he's covering. Then offensively, he's once again compared to Draymond in that he's someone who can be used as a secondary playmaker, kind of like a point forward, but he does need to work on his actual scoring ability. He's a winning player who may not be flashy, but he brings a skill set where he does all of the little things that teams would love to have.
It's good to see.
Next up, the 7th pick
Davion
went to the
Mitchell.
Golden State Warriors, and with it, they select Davion Mitchell from Baylor. Mitchell helped lead Baylor to a national title this year, and he is easily the best perimeter.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me maybe of like he's gonna be like the Jalen Brunson, just like the dude that maybe never becomes like a superstar, but like as with like Jalen Brunson, just like a good solid point guard. You know, that's gonna be nice behind Curry.
defender in the draft. He
Just a smart player.
absolutely hounds opposing ball handlers and forces turnovers at a rate where you could stick him on other teams' best guard and he'll make their life hell.
You'll be like a Marcus Smart,
Offensively,
maybe?
he showed a ton of improvement this season where he shot 51% from the field and 45% from three. And
Damn!
even though he's one of the older prospects in the draft at 22 years old, he's also one of the most NBA ready.
That
guys
works
in the
nicely with the
draft
Warriors.
for a Warriors team hoping to get back to the postseason.
Yeah, that's perfect for the
next
Warriors.
year. Next up, the 8th pick went to the Orlando
Ooh.
Magic as a result of their trade with the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, they did get both them picks? Damn, Magic in a good place, especially if you get Moses Moody. Hell yeah, that's going to be a damn team, man. Markelle Fultz, Moses, Kuminga, Isaac, and then Mo Bamba or Wendell. It's a good-looking squad.
And with it, they
early
select
on.
Moses Moody from Arkansas. You'll notice a
Mad-Eye
trend
Moody
so far as I say this, but Moody is also a very strong perimeter defender in this draft. And like many of the other top prospects in this draft, it will be tempting for a team to take him in the top 10.
Yeah, I like those pickles
He's
for Orlando,
probably the
for sure.
player that fits the label of 3 and D the most, but he did average about
Hey, he's
17
cocky
points
too,
per game
man.
this season as a freshman, and was able to score in more ways than just spot-up shooting. The Magic took a swing at a player that's a project at number 5 earlier on, so here they'll probably look to make a safer pick like Moody is.
Yeah, more of a sure
Up
thing.
next, the 9th pick went to the Sacramento Kings, and with it they select Jalen Johnson from Duke. Johnson may not have had the freshman season that he was hoping for at Duke, as it ended with him leaving early to prepare for the draft, but despite that, his upside is too high to ignore. He's a strong, big-bodied forward that can play multiple positions on both ends, he plays hard and runs the floor,
kinda smooth
and
with
he's
it,
a
man.
very good passer for a player at his position
Yo, I
who
kinda like
plays
this dude.
unselfishly. He is admittedly a
Ooh,
bit of a risky
damn.
pick based on his inconsistency at Duke, but I still see a team taking a gamble on him fairly early on.
Okay.
Next up, the 10th
Corey
pick
Kispert.
went to the New Orleans Pelicans, and with it they select Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. The Pelicans need to start prioritizing Zion Williamson, and in order to do so, they need shooting and lots of it. Kispert is very easily the best shooter in the draft this year,
What is
and
he, a
his
2?
lights-out shooting will translate seamlessly to the NBA game. On top of that, he does well cutting off the ball, he has a solid mid-range game, and even showed improvement as a finisher at the basket this year.
Alright, sounds
Next up,
decent.
the 11th pick went to the Charlotte Hornets, and with it they select James Bouknight from UConn. The Hornets are
Bouknight, I
likely
thought it was
losing
Bouknight.
Devontae Graham to free agency this offseason, so bringing in another guard that can score and handle the ball would make sense for them in the draft to plug in alongside LaMelo Ball for the team's future. Bouknight is as explosive of a scorer as there is in the draft this year, and even though his production dipped a little bit in the second half of the season, he did suffer an injury that held him back in that span, so it kind
it's
of
not
is
great.
reasonable. At full strength, he's someone who could become a reliable sixth man or even a secondary scorer in a lineup one day for sure. Next up, the 12th pick
I
went
like
to the San
Franz.
Antonio
Yep.
Spurs, and with it they select
Bro, they
Franz
get Franz Wagner on the Spurs, you know, with his defense and stuff, playing with DeJounte Murray, that team's gonna be dangerous.
Wagner from Michigan. Wagner brings a ton of versatility on both offense and defense, and if there's one thing Spurs coach Greg Popovich loves over the years, it's skilled, versatile players to develop and get the most.
He's gonna be a good NBA player,
He's a
guys.
smart
Watch.
defensive player, he gives you a little bit of everything on offense, and should make for a very solid player in any team's rotation.
I like the pickup.
Up next, the
Keon
13th
Johnson.
pick went to the Indiana Pacers, and with it they select Keon Johnson from Tennessee. Johnson
there a football
is
player named
very
Keon
raw
Johnson?
right now as a prospect, but he's been labeled by many as the most naturally gifted athlete in the draft, with an incredibly quick first step, terrific bounce, tenacity on defense that can't be taught.
Could be Russell
He
Westbrook.
has very glaring weaknesses as a shot creator and scorer right now. His jumper needs a lot of work,
Definitely
and
could
he'll
be Russell
definitely be a
Westbrook.
few years away from giving genuinely positive production. But he reminds me a lot of Patrick Williams from last year's draft, and he just had a great season with the Chicago Bulls after being labeled as a project last year too.
There you go.
And finally, the
Josh
14th
Giddey.
pick in the draft
Got me
went to the
feeling all
Golden State
giddy.
Warriors, and with it they select Josh Giddey from the NBL.
Damn, we got a
Giddey's
little
stock
Splash
has
Jr.
risen
right here,
a
man.
ton over the last few months as he finished the year in Australia very strong.
Bro, that's Splash
He's
Jr.
a 6'8" point guard with phenomenal playmaking ability and feel for the game, and he's a triple-double machine capable of stuffing the stat sheet on
some
any
handles.
given night. He's gonna need to add strength to his
I like
body,
that.
and
Bro, I
he'll
like that damn jump shot, man. That shit, that is Splash
also
Jr.
need to improve as a shooter,
Damn!
having only made 29% of his threes on the year
Never
in Australia,
mind!
but his feel for the game cannot be taught.
Never
and at
mind.
his size, it's definitely worth it to take a swing on him. And with that,
All right, guys, that's the end of the video right there, man. I thought it was a good mock draft. I mean, I honestly think this is like perfect, to be honest. That's why I'm like, do I even want to do one on my channel, man? Because pretty much gonna be looking exactly the same. Maybe a few changes here and there. I'm gonna see what I can do though. That's all we got for the video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out.